I am live. So it says, am I live? Hello. I need to see how to find myself on YouTube now. I would guess that the live stream would show up in my channel. There it is. All right, so the reason I'm doing this, here, there it goes. Hey everybody, Jay Hood here, and I've got a buddy along, Coach Vic, and we're going to start a live show on Tuesday. So we're just doing a little bit of experimenting here on StreamYard, and maybe we'll have a chit chat and see how it goes. But I'll bring him in. There he is. So along the way, I'm going to be kind of explaining some things to him, so we both get somewhat familiar with StreamYard and live streams and all that kind of thing. So what I'm doing is I've got a separate YouTube window open so that the chat will pop up. And so if you're ever doing this on a laptop and you do this, so StreamYard does have the messages, the private messages, right? You're on a mobile, I'm not sure. Does anything pop up? It does, okay. So then we'll go to YouTube and we'll pop out the chat. So on a laptop or desktop, you go to the YouTube video, go to the chat, and then pop out the chat. And the reason we do that is because the chat on YouTube will be ahead of what we see in StreamYard, for one thing. Another thing is I like to, hey, we got somebody. Hi, John. Good to see you. So we pop out the chat so we see it kind of more in real time. It comes in ahead of what we see in the StreamYard chat, and plus we can concentrate on the private chat in StreamYard and then keep track of the live chat in the separate thing. So yeah, we're just trying things out, John, and I'm gonna I know John's usually getting ready for his show, but I'm gonna make him a wrench if I can figure that out. Add moderator. All right. So we'll make a few other familiar faces, Wrenches as well. Wrench is a moderator, so there's people out in the chat that will help us keep track of monitoring trolls and things like that.
Oh, okay. I know those in other chats, all those blue wrenches.
Yeah.
I was envious.
There you go. The power, that's right. So yeah, so Coach Vic is a old friend of mine, and this, there he is. We're trying this out just in the same room, just so he's been helping me do a few of my latest videos. So if you see any improvement in my latest work, that's because of him. I found that it's kind of easier to do this when someone else is in the room. I become a little bit more lively, and my personality shines through a little bit more. And so, yeah, so we're setting up to do a live show on Tuesday at 9:30, and we'll have a couple other new faces along, and we're going to be pretty much dissecting comic books, kind of on a monthly basis. We'll pick one title, and but we'll save that for this Tuesday. We're going to have like a preview show, introduce the cast of characters and format and that kind of thing, and then in a couple of weeks we'll go live with it and kind of show exactly what we want to do. So I'd always intended to do live stuff because I kind of knew if I just sit down in front of a camera, I'm going to freeze up a little bit. So hopefully things come across more naturally now. But so Victor, you recently become more cognizant of comic books, not just as a fan of like superheroes and movies maybe, but you've actually started picking up a couple books, right?
Yeah, but it's funny. Yeah, I started getting the books based on stuff that I thought was interesting and stuff that I thought I would like. But then I was listening to you talk about how you pick out comic books. And I realized I have to change how I do everything.
I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt. Like everybody says, buy what you love, right? So
Exactly.
So unpaid commercial for my local comic shop, buymettoys.com. I'm not going to say where we're at, but if you're in our area, if you know the store and you're in the area, we got their big, their 23rd annual sale. They've been in business for 23 years. I'm torn. If I go today, I have to pull money out of my giant size X-Men for one fund. But their deal is the big deal for me is the back issues. Any like cover price back issues, $3 to $5 are buy 23 get 23, or they're buy one for they're $1 each. Buy 23 for $23. But there's another show that comes around here in the Midwest, and I got my little postcard today to remind me. If you bring this postcard in, and I'll give it to you, Victor, because I know you want to go, you get a free comic book when you come in the door, because they want to keep you on their mailing list. But all the comic books are stuff that I've already got, so I never pick them up.
Well, but that place is the only place I've ever bought a comic book. I don't know how to shop at a different store.
Okay, so it'll be a different experience with you. So one thing that we'll have to keep track of is the chat. You got Highlight Comic Bro. Hey, Highlight, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, the Spivey Toy Sale always happens around the same time that this traveling show comes in the area. I mentioned this show in my last video, actually, where I talked about they got the 50 for $20 deal. So I love just digging, flipping through comics, and I love digging. If I've got the time, I like digging through comics that are out of order. So you just kind of flip through and find gems, and that's exactly how this 50 for 20 deal is. Nothing's organized. You kind of flip through and you pull out. Sometimes he buys out store stock, so sometimes he's got runs of stuff in order. But it's pretty unusual to find that. But so it's like, well, do I go to Buy Me Toys this week and buy $23 worth and probably have to pay for pulling the comics out of my pull, or save my money and go next week to the comic show? And I can afford to do one or the other without digging into my giant size X-Men fund. But if I do both, I have to dip a toe in that. So we'll see how that goes. So okay, so give me your thoughts, or how you felt going to the comic store for the first time.
Well, I saw like there's a new Spider-Verse. It was like a 6-episode run, I think, or something like that.
Series.
And I was like, oh, okay, that interests me. So I'll go ahead and start with that. And then I read the first one, and I realized now I have to wait 4 weeks at least to find out what happens, because nothing really happened in the first episode or the first issue. So I was like, So then I was reading a set that you gave me, a JLA set that you gave me. It was nice to just go through book to book and have closure. And you talked about how it's probably better to wait a year, and you could probably get the whole thing for $1 a copy versus spending $4 or $5 each month waiting for a story to resolve. And so I thought that's what I would try to do.
Yeah, you can either do that or do what people call trade waiting, which is they'll wait till pretty much nowadays, as soon as the storyline is done, like a month after, they bring the trade paperback out or a collection out of the whole thing. But usually there's not really that much cost savings that way. Like I was talking about, if you wait a year, you might find it in a dollar bin. And that kind of depends on where you're at and if you go to shows. The good thing about this comic show next weekend is there's no admission charge. So, but if you go to like a big comic convention like C2E2, a Saturday pass of C2E2 is probably $40. Going to like the Indianapolis Comic Con I went to kind of back in the fall or back in the late summer, I guess. I think one day there was $20 or $25. And I don't have a problem paying 20 to 25 bucks, but when it gets up to 40 bucks, it's really got to be enticing for me to shell out for that.
Now,
But so that shows that there's still a kind of a barrier to entry to get to those ballot books sometimes. We're lucky with the fact that we've got this guy coming to town. We've got 2 other LCSs that are 3 that offer like $1 or $2 books. So it's kind of, we've got a nice hunting ground, I should say, here in our area.
now, is there a difference between, like you said, is it a trade book?
The trade paperback.
So, like, I have Batwing, I have a trade book, and you also got me a couple single issues from that.
Right.
Is there a difference between collecting like the 5 single issues versus the trade book?
So if you want the single issues, it might take you longer to find them. So if we go to this show next week and say, like I bought you the 3 issues that I'd forgotten that you already had to trade. So, but I bought those for you because they were in the dollar bin and they happen to be there. So, but if you wanted all 5, it's going to take you longer to hunt them down. So, and unless you want to pay, higher prices for them, you can go on eBay and find whatever you want at all different kinds of prices. But
okay.
Speaking of trade paperbacks, this is one of the first trade paperbacks that was ever published. It collects the Dark Phoenix saga. This ties into what we're going to do on our Tuesday show.
Spoiler.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you can tell. I mean, literally, pages are falling out of this because it's been so well loved. But yeah, so the cover price on this, the whole Phoenix saga, I think I want to say 8 issues, maybe. It's $7.95, or
wow.
I'm sorry, $6.95, $7. Back in what, 84, something like that. Yeah, good guess. So yeah, so I got to make a decision, make a call if I'm going to go to the Miami Toy Sale today or not. There are some things I wouldn't mind picking up for $1 there. Some like since New 52 Aquaman stuff. The art looked really pretty good. I never picked that up because I didn't want to shell out for it. I might go and get that for $1 each. See, one of the other things I wanted to mention. So we had this, the Comic Corps had this big kind of push to, helping to raise money for Midwest Comic Man and his daughter's health costs or medical costs. And I sketched this up and showed it on a Comic Corps show, not last night, but a week ago. So I'm going to finish this up. See if I can get it on screen there. I'm gonna finish that up and put it on my Instagram, and I'll do like maybe a silent auction for it. I'm not expecting to raise a whole lot of money, but whatever I can get for it, I'm going to donate to that medical care fund. So there's that. Let's see.
I wish I could draw.
It's a fun talent to have, gotta admit. For modeling fans, I know that they're probably anxious for me to come on and start talking about that. I'm going to set something up definitely by Christmas to do a live show so we can have a live chat going. And oh, John's saying you have an echo for some reason. I guess we should be paying attention more. That's strange. So, so for the modeling fans, I'm going to have a show by Christmas time, a live show, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on my own channel. It might be the fact that we've got both mics in the room. I bet. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on my own channel or on the Round 2 channel, but I'm going to announce a couple new kits that will be coming out next year, and one of them is in the box. I got another what's in the box thing. So again, it's not assembled, but that gives you an idea of maybe the size or scale of something we'll be bringing out next year. So there's that, and I think I'm I'm building a backlog of recorded videos, and I think we're going to do a few of those. I want to do an entry for JP's contest. And I know what the contest is, but I haven't watched the video to know what the rules are. So I want to do that and maybe do that this morning. So, and I didn't want this to last long, and I don't want it to run over into John's show. So, Coach Vic, you got any last words you want to say?
No, I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
All right, that sounds good. All right, so we'll sign off. And remember, faith, family, comic books, and we'll see you next time.